Again, if you want to be more grappling and less takedowns, less striking, I'd probably go with the kneeling one. If your goal is to do more takedowns, have other options of maybe, picking him up, hanging him up there, and if your arms are firmer, you can pop out here, pop, boom, puta kapala, boom, knee. If you want to work stuff like that, this dummy might be where it's at. A little more versatility. I even have some dummies where I take and put the glove on, and put a stick in his hand. You could work stick stuff with him. You can't do it with him. So you might be able to cover other areas, other martial art areas with this dummy, standing up one, especially if you make these arms a little stiffer. This one, I think it's just kind of grappling, right? I have both, so I can cover elbows. Now, if you're only going to get one of these, you have to decide, are you more grappling, or are you going to do more other kinds of martial arts? Striking, wrestling, throws, some grappling. This one covers a lot of good bases. So if you're asking me what I would tell you to get, I would just say, are you more grappling, or do you have other areas that you're interested in? Kickboxing, judo, wrestling, trapping, pentukin, all that. I'd go with this one, the standing one. More options, right? When you're trying to make a decision, trying to spend your hard-earned cash, both these dummies are the same price. They're about $130, $134. If you use grappling with, put it down in the description what it is, grappling with, you'll get a 10% discount on these dummies. Now, it's not much, but it's something, right? And if you're spending some hard-earned cash on a dummy, you can save a little bit with that grappling with. All one word. I want to finish up by putting a gi on the standing dummy so you can see that. You've already seen a gi on the kneeling dummy, but I'll go ahead and put a gi on the standing dummy. And as I'm doing that, maybe I'll discuss a little bit the pros and cons of buying these dummies because they're not filled. So let's go ahead and put this on, and I'll kind of talk through the idea I was thinking about when I buy these dummies and they're not filled. So some of the ideas of buying a dummy not filled is it saves on shipping costs. If you purchase a dummy that's filled, a lot of times those dummies end up costing more, and then there's also the cost of the shipping cost. So like the dummies that come from either Century or the Combat, whatever, those dummies are still probably close to $200 some dollars being filled. They're professionally filled, so they're gonna be nice, no doubt. But it's gonna cost you extra in shipping too. So not only does it cost you more to have it filled professionally, but it's gonna cost you more in the shipping department. And I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you go onto Amazon and look at the cost, it'll tell you right there. Right? So I have the pants on. I'm not gonna run through all. Well, let's go ahead and run through all these. Another thing with getting these dummies unfilled is you can decide how you want to fill this dummy. Now, if you go on and do a search for filling grappling dummies, you'll probably see a couple different ones out there, and I've done it. You'll see a couple guys, or a guy, who is using like flexible fiberglass kind of poles in there to give a little rigidity into the arms. He'll use one piece, kind of bend it so these arms move at one piece, so he can give a little bit more realistic when he's doing Americanas or Kimuras or something in there. You'll see them put pool noodles inside and then fill it with clothes. It gets a little more tricky doing stuff like that because you have to pack clothes around something that are taking up space. when you do something like that, it also takes away from the ability to add more weight, because the pool noodle is going to take up space from actually packing. Now, if you take your pool noodle, there's another person out there who's taking pool noodles and he's duct taping one end, putting sand inside the pool noodle, giving it a little weight, duct taping the other end, and then going ahead and putting it in his dummy. You could do that too. Again, getting these dummies unfilled allows you to customize it, and again, the necessity is the mother of inventions, right? So you can figure out a number of different ways that are perfect for you. You can also figure out, save money on fill. So you might be able to, maybe you have a couple old heavy bags. Now you can go on to the marketplace on Facebook and type in heavy bags. And right now during the pandemic, a lot of people are gouging prices. But if you go on, and sometimes you can find locally people that are willing to sell you their heavy bags, their used ones that are beat to all tar or whatever. Maybe they're just looking to get like $50 for them. Well, that's pretty good, because this is going to be a little tough. Now this, again, I'm just going to pause there for a second. That in my story, but putting this gi on this dummy is a little more trickier because the arms don't bend around and they're shorter. You'll see it here. Once I get it on, it's going to be bunched up. All right. Again, this is an A3. An A3, I believe. Yeah, it's an A3 gi. This is a gameness gi. And you'll have to roll the cuffs up if you want. You know, you're cheating already, getting that little pocket grip. And here, now you have them standing up in here, you have them against the gi, pull in here. You know, now you can spin around, drop, turn. Now you have a gi on them, you can do even more throws. Right? You have them in here. You get these sleeves. You throw